Hey guys, welcome back to the WCG 2012 Grand Finals. We are, of course, casting StarCraft right now. It's time for Ukraine up against Poland here.
That's right. It is going to be Roxkis Fraer versus acerParanoid. I believe that would make it a Protoss versus Zerg matchup. If he's on Acer, we can just assume he's Zerg, unless it's MMA, I guess. Or Dark Hydra is actually a Terran player as well, but that just, he named himself Dark Hydra so he could get on the team, and then they were like, oh great, we love Zerg players. And he's like, I just named myself that, I'm actually Terran. But then the contract was signed, he had to stay, but this is going to be Paranoid. And yeah, it should be a really good match. Paranoid is one of my favorite Zerg players to watch, actually, from Europe. If I remember right. I'm going to make a fool of myself if he's not Zerg, and I'm thinking of somebody else, actually. But we'll see.
I'm just excited to see how this match plays out, because these are two foreign players here, and usually the focus is always on Korean players, and I live in casting Korea as you do.
That's the thing. We don't know these guys much.
We get to cast now two Europeans playing against each other in China.
Yeah.
Trying to represent both of their European countries, not only against other European countries, not against Americans, but against the world, against Chinese players, against Korean players. They want to get out of this group so they can have a chance, of course, at that actual round of 8 stage coming up.
Yep, and I believe that starts tomorrow.
I think actually at the end of the day today we have some round of 8 matches.
Oh, we do? Oh, okay. All right. Well, guys, they are going to get their computers set up, and it's going to be a little bit longer. We kind of thought they'd be starting a little bit earlier, but they have to get everything set correctly.
The Chinese casters are trying to find out if they have the right badge to go and get a food stamp later.
It's like someone stole that guy's tie.
Yeah, what happened there? He lost his tie, someone ripped it off.
Business casual. Yesterday, all these commentators were all buttoned up, tie perfectly tight. Today, they're kind of letting it all hang out.
I gotta tell this guy who lost his tie also that his mic, if possible, should be on his other side of his face since he's on camera, so that when he looks, it doesn't cover his face.
That's true. That's actually very true. And we're never on camera, so we don't need to worry about this.
Is that the same guy yesterday who was wearing glasses? I think it is, but now he's not wearing glasses. Someone took his glasses and his tie.
I like these guys, man. They're just chilling out. Going to cast some StarCraft too. It's still fairly early in the morning in terms of esports hours. It's only 12:37 p.m. That's early morning for esports.
Look at that guy in the back, man. He's ready for esports.
He's
excited. Saw him jump up there, yeah.
We love StarCraft too, dude.
By the way, I noticed something else that's missing. I want to just play this game. Have you noticed something else that's missing from the guy on the left here?
Wait, he doesn't have the Neo TV logo on his blazer.
He doesn't have that. Good job.
Noticed that.
You're pretty good at this, man.
One of those games where it's spot what's missing from the picture.
I'm trying to find if there's anything else that's missing.
Do you know what? There's a difference. You should know this one between these two guys.
Well, obviously their hairstyle is quite different.
What specifically, though?
Well,
involving the forehead and the covering of the forehead.
Well, I mean, one of them has his hair spiked up. He's very short. He doesn't have bangs at all.
There is Fraer. You are right, Wolf, by the way.
He's Protoss from Ukraine.
Yep.
He's getting all the settings ready. This guy is really well known in Europe. His timing attacks are quite fierce. His late game Protoss versus Zerg as well is something that most people don't really like coming up against.
Very true. And here we go. Our other player from Team Acer. It's going to be, well, we're going to meet him in a little while, I guess. But it is acerParanoid. It's going to be really interesting to see how MMA does now that he's on Acer. Of course, MMA, Moon Sung Hwan from Korea, used to be on Slayers, was one of the premier players on Slayers. The team disbanded. He went to Acer, as did Sella, their coach. Sella's going to coach the SC2 division for Acer now. And it's going to be really interesting to see how these guys do.
Yeah, we'll see. Of course, here is Paranoid himself. Of course, as you mentioned, a Zerg player.
Yep.
Rocking the long hair here.
That's right.
Coming all the way from Poland to represent his country in WCG 2012.
So we're going to have his ZVP. I'm curious to see what map we're going to have on. I'm not sure if it's all the same map for each round or they do vary it up. I'm not 100% sure.
As far as I know, it's all different.
Okay.
And I think there was a veto system, but I couldn't tell you exactly. But I do not think we're going to have Ohana. I think it's going to be one of the maps on the map pool based on vetoes chosen earlier.
All right.
And, I'm hoping if we get to see a Protoss versus Zerg, we will see it on Ohana, though. That would
really?
That's my favorite map to watch this match on
really?
these days, yeah.
I really like to watch Zerg versus Protoss on Daybreak.
Daybreak is also very good.
But I feel like Ohana, you see a little bit too much of the all-ins. And check out the nails just sitting on top of that booth, man.
Yeah, that's where you keep your nails when you're dogging on top of the StarCraft. There's a lot of nails
so.
out there. Can't remember how much I want everyone to know about that.
There's like a handyman that just like lives on top of that booth when no one's around. He sleeps up there.
Yeah.
We are in Kunshan, China, guys. It's just outside of Shanghai, and it's a really cool little area. A little bit more rural, not quite as cosmopolitan as some of the other areas.
Yeah.
Look at that Paranoid.
He really knows
like
he's on camera.
Man.
He's actually trying to make it work. He's been actually doing this. I saw him while he was off camera doing it just on the edge, and I'm like, I think he doesn't even know exactly when he's on camera. He's just trying to make the best out of it.
He's just warming up those muscles, man. It's a trick. You tense your muscles, and then you relax, and it helps everything relax. It helps you chill out a little bit more. So
but if you just look at this, the scene that you see here and what we saw with him flexing just moments ago, it shows that Paranoid is not...
There he is. And on the left, we have our blue Zerg player.
This is part of the wall. I can see why you would dislike this position because of the way that the depot is, but it's pretty much the same on all the bases. He may be referring to his technical issues he was having earlier. But, we talked about this before. It can affect you mentally when you have that problem with your chair even, or your computer, or your sound, or maybe even your mouse. We don't even know what problem he was having in there, but he was having some sort of problem. You have these issues, and then suddenly you spawn in the position you don't want on the map, and all these things can really get into your head.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And this all kind of serves to mess up your game a little bit later here. So now with Fraer, I haven't seen him play as much, and if you're more familiar with him, maybe you can tell me, is he the type of Protoss that goes for a lot of Nexus first? It looks like he certainly is this game, but he is. Okay.
I think that, in my experience casting Fraer, he's someone that is more prone to the late game. He's the guy who will take the third base instead of Immortal pushing you, because he knows how to play the later game with Colossi and eventually get the mothership out.
It really seems like the Immortal pushing, too, is starting to fall off a little bit. It's getting to the point where you really don't see it as much as you used to, I feel like. Parting from StarTale, still one of the players that does it possibly the most. And he is in this tournament, too, so we may get to see that a little bit later. At some point.
Yeah.
And so a double cast cancel for Paranoid, really trying to squeeze out a couple of those defensive Zerglings, as well as a couple drones just before having to make quite as many overlords, just trying to be efficient. And that's a lot of Zerglings. He's going to put some pressure on.
5 lings across and 1 ling to check for pylons.
Yeah.
Very aggressive play here, trying to threaten somebody who goes for a risky opening. Thing is, when you go for the Nexus as part of your wall, you have just a few extra seconds of travel time for the Zerglings, so he will be able to, if he wants to, place a gateway here to limit the surface area. The Lings will have to run around the Nexus, and he should totally be fine here, even Maynarding the probes down.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to lose a whole lot. He's just delaying for that cannon. Yeah, the cannon's done. There's no way that Paranoid can get in there. And, I mean, the nice thing about having this many Zerglings and trying to just kind of scoot by, Yeah,
to me, it's all about, if you go for the 4 is by far the most popular, but how do you use the 4? Now,
okay, we're back, guys. Sorry about that. Hopefully everything's fixed up. We were having some issues with dropped frames on the streaming computer, so hopefully that works a little bit better for everybody.
Yeah, by the way, next we have some World of Tanks action, so make sure you don't miss it.
Yeah. So, what's going on in this game? We've got a Stargate going down for Fraer. Stargate openings are seeing somewhat of a renaissance in PvZ right now. They're really popular right now.
I think he's just going to do the Void Ray Zealot all in because of this map.
So?
But he's making a Phoenix.
Well, that's the thing is, like yesterday we saw Max Set actually do a +1 Zealot Void Ray push on this map, which does work, but it's so old school, I feel like, in PvZ. You don't see it very often anymore. So I was kind of thinking the same thing. I was like, oh, man, are we going to see this again?
Well, he's making a pylon, and he's making 5 gateways. He's definitely got pressure on. Yeah. I don't quite follow exactly what the plan is with the Phoenix, though.
Yeah, he made one. Okay, now he's making a second one. So this has got to just be Phoenix pressure with, maybe a third base.
If it were just one Phoenix, I could understand for the high ground vision, but he started the second one, so we'll see what he ends up using these for.
Yeah, it's kind of late, though, too. So I've got a feeling it's going to be a third base for Fraer. Paranoid, though, dotting the I's, crossing the T's. He's doing everything he needs to do to play defensively early on. He's got about 50 drones right now. He's got his Roach Warren. He's got his Evo Chamber. So he's going to be able to scout this. He's got his Zerglings in a good position to watch for things. So he's going to be able to defend if he needs to. And Fraer just getting his Zealot caught out in the open here.
Yeah, that's definitely not something you want. Now he's totally scouted as well. I don't like Fraer's position here because
it's a bit awkward.
Everything he's doing is completely scouted. He is going for a little bit of pressure here, and he does actually have that high ground vision with the Phoenix.
Yeah, +1 Zealot Phoenix, I guess. So a little bit different here.
He's a bit late with this attack, I feel. The Roaches are already out. The Overlord goes down here, but the Phoenixes need to be utilized, I feel, a little bit more. It just doesn't seem like it matters. The attack seems to be pretty much over right now.
He's not lifting the Queens. He's not really doing anything. This is a really weird push, guys. I don't know if I've quite seen things pan out like this. I feel like Fraer's build, and now he lifts a Roach. All right, I'm like, okay.
Well, he's going to try to get some utility out of these, but the thing is, the window of opportunity has really passed for the most part.
Yeah,
it's so hard for him to fall back and take a third analysis of the Roxford kill by those Lings earlier on. He already made his gateways at his naturals. He can't use his gates to wall.
You know, I think I've got a feeling something got a little bit messed up with Fraer's build because this just seems too off. You know, this just seems like something just got a little bit tweaked when he wasn't meaning for it to be, and he was like, all right, well, I guess I'll just try this now. I'm not sure if he just started the Phoenix first instead of the Void Ray, or like what he was planning. It looks like he is planning on taking a third. He's getting his +1 armor. He's getting his Robo. But no Twilight Council yet.
No Twilight Council. He's going for a little bit more harassment here in the main. He wants to limit his opponent's production, and so far he will be able to. He's got 5 Phoenixes out, and that's a ton to have. And he's going to be able to do some economic damage here now that the Queens are gone. That's something that Paranoid, I feel, kind of skimped on, because I think he's trying to figure out exactly what Fraer's real plan was from the beginning. A Warp Prism coming out with extra gates. Is he going to try to go for another warp in the main?
Maybe like a 1-1 gateway push as well. But this is weird, guys. I mean, the thing is, here's another thing about casting mostly Korean players too, is that you never see anything like this. This is such a weird build coming out of Fraer, and maybe this is something he does all the time, but for us, this is kind of surprising. Meanwhile, the upgrade's looking pretty good for Paranoid. He's not quite up in supply. Losing those Queens has hurt the injects a lot. He is supply blocked because he lost some Overlords too. So Fraer has made these Phoenixes kind of work. He's getting his Twilight Council now, so this is more of a normal kind of third base arrangement here. But he's getting another gateway still. This is really interesting by Fraer.
I like the response by Paranoid, though. He's going for drops. He's going to just do big Ling drops. He's going for another attack right now at the natural while this Warp Prism comes in. The Force Fields here are okay. There's a lot of Zealots to help, but once the Lings come into the natural, he's not going to have much answer. I don't know if I agree with trying to go past this wall, though.
Yeah. Oh, man, he actually got those Lings trapped. I was about to say he's so lucky that there wasn't a sentry there, but it didn't matter anyway because he just got all his Lings trapped by those Zealots. And there's Zealots in the main, too. Oh, wow, Paranoid.
He's got no defense here, and now he can just target down the Spores with the Zealots, keep orbiting in sentries, and then use the Queens to kill whatever, or rather the Phoenixes to kill whatever he wants once the Spores are gone.
Oh, the Force Field, though. Wow, this game is just absolutely insane. Mistakes being made big time by both players, but in the end, Fraer having a bit of an advantage in terms of just doing enough damage. He's actually up in supply right now.
There's some Zealots doing some more harassment as well in the mineral line that we didn't really quite get a chance to see. And you can see the supply here is really similar for both players. Both players, like you said, making a lot of mistakes. But yeah, I think that Fraer is actually getting ahead here. He needs a third Nexus, though.
Fraer's making a Dark Shrine instead of a third Nexus, though. He's going to try to end this. He's just going for it. He's like, all right, well, I guess because you donated all those Zerglings because my attack in the main went well, even though I messed up my Force Fields twice, and let some of your Lings up, that I'm going to just be able to end it with DTs and gateway units.
I find it weird that he wants to go for DTs considering there's so many Spores already made.
Yeah, exactly. This is such a weird game, Wolf. I don't know what we're seeing here. Spire going down now for Paranoid. I mean, he's got 2-2 on the way, a lot of Lings. He could be going for Mutalisks, but there's already Phoenixes out. There's no Colossi, so there's no point in getting Corruptors. He doesn't have an infestation.
I think he's going to make the DTs into Archons now that I see that he's going with this
that's
attack.
Quite possible.
And he's got a big Zealot force. Where are the Roaches?
He's not even going to need those Archons, man. The Zealots are going to handle these Lings just fine.
2-2 upgrades, just not quite done for the Ling army just yet, and I think this may be too much. This is probably just going to end the game.
I think it is, man. I mean, when he lost that huge group of Lings at the base of Fraer, that was really part of what sealed the deal for Fraer to be able to come in then and do a lot of damage at the main and the natural. The Infestation Pit is going down now, but it's really late to use it in this game.
Yep, and
Force
he will
field.
actually break through, but the thing is, can he actually defend his base at home?
Yeah.
It doesn't look very likely. He's now down to 66 supply, and even if the Lings get through, he can just warp in a few more zealots. He's got 1,400 minerals. There's even a cannon there. DT's coming through. He can never kill those.
He's got a couple overseers in position so the Lings can actually hit the Dark Templar, but look at the base, man. He's never going to be able to win a base trade.
Yeah,
with
never
that
in a
few
million
Lings.
years. A few spine crawlers going down desperately here.
And,
it looks like despite an early lead, Paranoid is not going to be able to take this game.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about this game, man. GG, that's it. So Fraer winning a game against Paranoid. Very, very bizarre game, guys. That was not too common at the pro level. It was some definite miscues by both sides. Really bizarre opening coming out of Fraer, and I don't know. I'm not the type of person to be like hard on players, but that was just I don't know. It's a win is a win is a win, right?
Yeah,
but
and he takes it. You know,
Yeah.
he seized on his opponent's mistakes and ended up taking that game. You can't fault him for that.
Yeah, it was messy, but a win is a win for Fraer. And looks like he's going to go over and shake hands with his opponent in the other booth, and that is going to about do it for StarCraft 2 for now, guys. I believe our next SC2 match is going to be on the main stage in a little bit. It's going to be World of Tanks here in just a moment, so don't miss that. But that's going to do it for Wolf and I for now. I think we're going to be over on the main stage in a little bit for more SC2. So we'll
see you guys then.
later. Yeah.